Rogues. Exterior, New York, evening. A title card appears over sweeping shots of New York City. New York, present day. Interior, apartment. Sheets hang from the ceiling of a living room, blocking any features of the apartment. The small room is dark, dingy, and cold. Recently snuffed candles smoke in the corners. Spell books are scattered in a pile on the floor. A laptop is open to YouTube videos with titles like Making Deals with the Devil, How to Call Spirits for Help, Summon Spirits to Fulfill Your Dreams. Oliver Duncan kneels in the center of the floor, face hidden, head hanging low. His sweat-soaked clothes cling to his paunchy body. He shivers and lets out a sob.
This was not how it was supposed to be. This is not what I meant.
A black-cloaked figure passes smoothly behind him. It clicks and whistles, saying something we can't understand. Oliver understands, though. We watch his eyes, the only real feature of him we'll see, pupils dilated, showing a sliver of dark iris as he listens. He's scared shitless.
What? No, you can't do that! No! No!
Black smoke pours from under the hanging sheets. The thick fog brings growls, screeches, wails, clicks. Oliver screams, the sound echoing as the smoke engulfs him. Like a vacuum, the smoke is sucked out of the room, and we're left with an empty floor. In Oliver's spot is a small swirl of blackened sand, a tiny flame flickering in the center. Cut to exterior Jimmy's pub, evening. We follow a few steps behind a young woman as she crosses the street. She's dressed well, tight, expensive jeans, a black leather jacket. Her long black hair bounces, chunky Scottish blue highlights peeking out. She heads into Jimmy's Scottish pub. Interior Jimmy's pub. We follow the woman through the pub and to the basement stairs. She starts down the stairs. Thump. The sound comes from behind the door at the bottom of the stairs. The woman stops and we swing around to finally see Belle Brody, mid-30s, evening makeup done a little dark. Belle's annoyed, scowling, eyes shooting daggers at the basement door. She yanks on latex gloves, then shoe coverings like a detective prepping for a crime scene. Interior basement. Belle enters the unfinished, cold cement basement, and we're still in the mindset of any old detective show. Stu and Danny Brody, both 30s, stand over the body of Lucas Duncan tied to a tipped-over chair. They could be Belle's partners, but we close in on their cut-up knuckles. They aren't detectives on a network crime show. Belle stops at Lucas, unimpressed at his bloody face and torn clothing.
You kill him?
Stu shakes his head.
He's dry, though.
Belle crouches to Lucas and waits. Lucas opens his eyes and gasps for air.
Lucas Duncan, welcome to Jimmy's. Get him up.
She steps over Lucas to a card table with a tape recorder on it. She picks up a tape recorder and looks at the time. Just over 12 minutes of tape. She drops it in a plastic baggie and shoves it in her pocket. She turns around as Stu and Danny straighten Lucas on the chair.
12 minutes.
He had a lot to say.
Apparently.
Lucas sits limply in the chair. He's breathing and awake, but Belle kicks him anyway.
Got any last words?
Fuck you.
He spits a glob of blood at her feet.
Gross.
Belle pulls out her switchblade. It's old and well-loved, but it does its job. She flicks the blade up. She grabs Lucas's hair and jerks his head back.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
She trails off, forgetting the words.
You turn the other cheek, then you got a screw loose.
She shoves the blade into Lucas's ear with a satisfying squelch. Lucas goes limp, dead.
Why do you start the rhyme if you can never remember the words?
Tradition. And you always finish it for me.
They all exchange smart-ass smirks as she pulls the blade out of the dead Duncan.
You don't even believe in magic, though.
Belle wipes the blood on Lucas's jacket. Another job done. Easy peasy.
I don't believe in God either, but I wear that cross every Sunday.
That's 'cause Pa would belt you if you didn't.
Belle goes to the sink in the back corner and washes the blood off her knife. We stay with Belle, watching her cousins over her shoulder, Lucas's body hidden from view. Stu and Danny both pause, something on the floor catching their attention. They both step back in unison. Something scared them. Something's not right.
Hey, Belle?
What? He's still alive?
Belle turns to reveal Lucas. The body jerks in the chair, shuffling on the floor. The blood boils. Red bubbles pop, pop, pop. Hissing steams from Lucas's skin, louder than a kettle. Belle's completely bewildered, but she readies herself. Her switchblade is at her side. We close in tight, the only ones to see blue Celtic etchings snake along the blade, disappearing into the hilt. We're back with Belle and her cousins, right next to them as a low wail sweeps across the basement. Belle's breath is visible. She looks at her cousins, all of them wondering what the fuck is going on. The wailing grows, shaking the lights, forcing Belle to cover her ears and shut her eyes. Like a switch, everything stops. Belle opens her eyes, stunned and freaked out, not emotions she shows easily. She realizes this and composes herself, closing and pocketing her switchblade.
Clean this up. Quickly.
She yanks the gloves off, dropping them on the floor as she heads for the door. Interior, Jimmy's pub. Completely unaffected by the strangeness below, Jimmy's hums along with all the Scots getting drunker as the night goes on. Someone sings, glasses clink. Belle pushes through the basement door and heads behind the bar. Jimmy, 40, slides drinks to people and chats with the regulars. He notices Belle and pours her a shot as she approaches. He looks down.